Have you been looking for an acoustic guitar that sounds amazing live, is a bit of a head turner, and it's something different? Here's 5 reasons why you have to own the Maton Mini. Reason number 1, the AP5 Pro pickup. This pickup was installed in all their acoustic guitars quite a few years ago. They did a swap out from the old AP5s and changed it to the AP5 Pro. I personally love this pickup. There's 2 things I really love about this. The mid sweep on the pickup gets a really sweet spot for when you're playing live, particularly through cutting through a mix. But you also have the option not just for an undersaddle piezo pickup, but also the microphone. When you blend the 2 between the microphone and the piezo pickup underneath the saddle, gives an incredible live, realistic sound. Now, we all know piezo pickups aren't the best. They can get out a pretty amazing quack when you don't want them to. Quack. Now, what I like to do is I actually turn the microphone right off when I'm playing, particularly my live looping sets, purely so I don't pick up the ambient sounds when I'm putting in loops into my looper pedal. However, if it's just a solo or a duo set without the looping, blending the 2 gives an amazing tonal richness that you'd expect from a Maton guitar. The other thing to bear in mind with the Maton Mini is that it's not designed to be played acoustically. It's not a guitar that you're going to use to be miking up so you can be playing it in the studio. This guitar is specifically designed for live performance, which is plugged in. Doesn't mean you can't get a lovely sound out of it. It's actually surprising the sound you get. However, plugged in, this guitar is huge live. It has an absolutely massive sound. Reason number 2, the neck profile. Now this might sound like something basic, but when you're an acoustic performer and you're doing 2, 3, 4, 45-minute sets, you're playing longer than the Rolling Stones, having a comfortable neck playing that amount of time is crucial for you to be able to have longevity when you're playing, particularly multiple gigs throughout a week. The neck is so easy to play. It is a smaller body guitar, which means the neck is smaller, which means everything is more accessible. It's so important for me to have a neck that's comfortable for playing for long periods of time. You want something that's going to be easy on the hands. With the smaller body and the smaller neck, makes it so much easier for you to be able to play. Here's a question for you. What's your go-to acoustic for live performances? I'd love to hear what your go-to instrument is in the comments below. Drop a comment, let everyone know. It'd be really good to hear what everyone's using right now for live performances. Reason number 3 is the overall weight and size of the guitar. It is a smaller body guitar. You would classify it as a travel guitar. To be honest, it would terrify me to put this guitar on a plane, knowing how airlines these days manage your guitars. However, it is actually the right size to put in your overhead compartment, which is great. Here's a comparison here between one of my Maton SRS 808s. Now, the SRS 808 is also classified as a smaller body guitar. This is an instrument that I've used for many, many years in live and in the studio, but you can see just how much of a difference it makes with the overall size and shape. What does that mean? It means you're not constantly reaching over an acoustic to be playing live. Depending on how high you hold your instrument, the Maton Mini sits perfectly and doesn't have that much depth to it from when you're playing, so it's nice and comfortable for the durations that you're playing for. It's also not just about playing live, it's about loading in and loading out. Because it's a smaller instrument, you've got less gear to take. So that means by the time you're getting your PA, your pedal board, your lighting, all of the other equipment and getting set up, you've got a nice and easy small carry case to be able to take with you, which makes life so much easier, particularly like what I do, live looping with an acoustic and an electric guitar. It just makes things a lot easier. Reason number 4, it's different. Let's be honest, we all want to be a little bit different. We want to be a little bit unique. Obviously, being an Australian brand, you do see quite a few Matons around in live performances here, which is great. I love that because it's all about supporting local brands and local companies, and Maton are an amazing company, but it's different. You don't see a lot of small body guitars with people performing live. There's a lot of people that are sitting down. I personally prefer to stand up when I'm playing live. I can't sit still as it is, as you can probably tell here. As musicians and performers and artists, we're trying to find our own voice and we're trying to be a little bit different, the Maton allows you to do that. And again, it's something that you'd be amazed at how many people would come up before, during, or after a gig and compliment and say, I love that guitar, I've never seen that before. Is that a violin? No, it's not a violin. Are you sure? It looks like a violin. I'm pretty sure it's not a violin. Reason number 5, and this was the big one for me, is the sound. The sound from this guitar plugged in is absolutely massive. My biggest concern before buying the Maton was, is it able to get a bass response, particularly for percussive slaps when live looping and whatnot? I was actually genuinely concerned. Unbelievable. It's incredible how much bass sound. To be honest, you actually have to turn the bass down because it's so boomy from the instrument. The blend between the mic and the piezo in particular are incredible functionality for you, depending on what you want to do and what situation. The sound is huge. To check out some more sounds of this Maton Mini, have a look at the video I did for the live pedal board for a live looping rig, including the Line 6 HX Stomp XL. It's going to give you some ideas of the amazing tonal varieties that you can get from this particular guitar.